Oh, no, here it is. I got it. Yep. So Martha Ellen is a retired child protection social worker living on the Oregon coast since 1985. She has an MFA from Portland State University. Her poems and prose are published in various journals and online forums, including locally Rain Magazine, which I think they have a copy of up at the bar, North Coast Squid, and then most recently her prose piece, Getting Rid of the Books of a Dead Poser, won first place in the International Synchronicity Press Contest under the theme Audacity. She writes to process the events of her life. So when I think of poems, I think of 200 words, 500 words, and hers was 1,500 words, which is the max that we kind of allow here, which is amazing, and I'm really, honored to read her poem, which is titled Loose Ends, which was written before we chose this theme. Loose Ends by Martha Ellen. In the spring, I could die of natural causes under the lilac bush with hummingbirds darting about. My heart could stop when I linger a moment by Carl's roses or near the Japanese snow bells to inhale their fragrance. If I get dementia, I could wander into the woods, slip on a mossy rock, and die from exposure to the delight of thousands of beetles and worms. I could die from shock or fright, highly likely. If I fall and hit my head tying shiny flags onto the fig tree to keep the jays away, I could take my last breath lying there in the dirt wondering why the California poppy seeds never sprouted. If I am mortally wounded in a crash before I closed my eyes for the last time, I could look at a print of Lamentation, the Morning of Christ, by Giotto, I keep folded in my pocket for just such an occasion. Outside the front door to the senior center, Betty could accidentally back over me. She almost did last week. I could get some incurable illness and fade away in silence or scream in agony strapped to a bed until the end, like Aunt Opal. Someone, not me, could shoot me through the heart. My house could catch fire and I could die from smoke inhalation trying to save my dog. Toby would die in my arms. He would sneak me into heaven with him. The brakes could fail going down 8th Street Hill. My car could careen into the river where I would drown in the cold, dark water with fishes swimming merrily by as though nothing were amiss. I could kick the bucket, choking on a too big bite of cherry pie and no milk to wash it down. When I stop in Hammond to take a picture of a bull elk, like some clueless turista, he could gore me to death, a spike of his antler piercing my eye, smashing through my brain, causing me to flail wildly in death throes like a hooked fish. Yikes! The expansive vista at Ecola could make me dizzy. I could fall off the cliff where search and rescue could not get me. I could have a... Oh no. I could have a fatal brain hemorrhage. Okay, I need a moment. Yeah. I could have a fatal brain hemorrhage by the bird bath out front. Oh my gosh. Martha. Okay. I could have a fatal brain hemorrhage by the bird bath out front. The one with Sartre's Being and Nothingness I put there a few years ago for the birds to read as a joke. So funny. Oh my gosh. I could die laughing while reading this. No, I could die laughing while looking at The Resurrection by Piero della Francesca, the resurrected Christ, rising in glory while the Roman guards slept. You snooze, you lose. LOL. I could bring to mind fleeting moments, the sweetest summer afternoon sitting between Kate and Liam on their front steps when time stopped and we felt the universal pulse. Or at hospice that gray winter evening when I left Donna in her bed, smiling. Her last words were 2 old kippers in a box. I could expire longing for them. I could look up into the heavens one morning, see the face of Father Lance filled with compassion. Hear his welcoming words, "Come, fear not, and surrender." He's been looking after my sister until I can get there. I could have died from sorrow when my dad's heart failed. The beat slowed, his blood pressure dropped. I could have lain down next to him and begged to leave with him. Or I could have drifted away into nothing at the foot of the bed when Eric was on life support, or succumbed to grief when Robin screamed, "Get out of my house." I actually could have died from sadness over all the others who I loved but did not love me back. Or maybe they did. Like Father Headley said, the enduring enigma is we hurt each other anyway. I could collapse from a massive stroke while gazing into the sky, watching brave Jack the Crow fight off a huge raptor to protect the chicks in the nest. Olga can't do it by herself. Even decades after the first time failed in La Bog Woods that cold afternoon in late autumn, another one of Henry's plans to murder me could still succeed. That's why I covered the windows, changed the locks, and made an escape plan. Take the north passage that leads from the dining room to the kitchen. Grab the cash out of the emergency money teapot, out the back door, down the steps, along the west side of the house, through the neighbor's driveway to my car. I keep it gassed up. There could be a supernova, and I could be burnt to a crisp with all my stuff and the rest of humanity, and all the animals and plants, and all the people I love and don't love. In my mind's ear, I could hear Eric's perfect note that evening during a concert in Longview, or I could hear 3-year-old Robin say, "Mama, I don't want you to be thrown away and just fall over dead." My maternal heart burst, love and joy spilling out. I could rot away from guilt and shame, like that door in the Ivan Albright painting, everything I should have done, I did not do. A crazy person hiding in the women's bathroom at the rest area on Highway 26 might slip my jugular. It happened to someone else in some other rest area. I could freeze to death with Dale in his cabin in Alaska where he tries to hide from the combat nightmares. His suffering, no embrace could heal, though I'd try. I'd finally know the 2 angels who visited me when I was 5 were us. I could die from a broken heart, like Vince said, when I couldn't stop sobbing after reading him one of my Bonjour Tristeza poems. He wanted me to get it published, but I lost it. A man could kill me. They've tried before. Beat me to death, maybe, or rape me and strangle me so I won't tell. Fast talk wouldn't save me. The night I saw my soul hovering over me in a glowing dimensional ellipse, I thought I was dying, but it was just one of those hallucinations I had during withdrawal. Like the almost mouse scampering across the vestibule floor, the kind old native woman with saucer eyes, or the firefly that smiled. There are no fireflies in Oregon, by the way. The cougar spotted on 4th Street could stalk me on the way to the mailbox, pounce and tear out my throat before I knew what hit me. I could stumble over some junk on the floor and fall, unable to get up. I'd expire from dehydration and hypothermia before someone could find me, like Aunt Jessie. I could even pass away in my sleep, enthralled while waltzing through a dreamy vision of the millions of the luminous threads connecting all living things. I don't want to croak in a small room with pale green walls, machines beeping, and an IV delivering saline at the bend in my elbow. Though if I do, the colors and the sounds will probably transcend the ordinary, ascend into the sublime, and I'll pass on in a reverie certain my mom loved me. And if she didn't, it won't matter.